Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast battle report. Today we're in the deep confines of the city of Vogan as Archon Skari continues his hunt for liquid flesh against the Necron tier. This time in the blasted ruined landscape. Let's begin. Welcome to the battlefield. We are playing Maelstrom of War. And today, John, say hi, John.
Hello.
He has brought his Necron tier once again in game 3 of our narrative series, The Hunt for Liquid Flesh. Archon Skari, the Blade, with the help of his coven, have repeatedly beat the Necrons back. And this time, they defend the ruins where the Dark Eldar are digging for more information on the whereabouts of the entrance to the Necron tier tomb beneath the planet core. So we've got 6 objectives on the board. They're evenly spaced out. Let's take a look at the 1500 point armies and then we'll come back to deployment. And here we have 1500 points of Necrons. Necrons! That's for you, Idic, for Nick Beer. Okay, John, what do you have?
All right. So to start us off, we have a battalion detachment with an overlord and a lord.
Very cool.
They are Mephrit Dynasty, getting their +1 AP at half range. The overlord has the Voltaic Staff. We have another Mephrit detachment with the Cryptek on his Canoptic Cloak, Doomsday Arc, and 2 Annihilation Barges. And then to tie it all together, we have our nasty little Destroyer Lord, who's carrying the Nano-Scarab Casket, who is with his entourage of a lot of bugs.
Scarabs! So there you have it, guys. A nice little fire base with a nice little close combat-y base as well with that Nano-Scarab casket, which is actually really nasty. That's a really cool relic. So let's take a look at the Drukhari. Archon Skari, the Blade, has returned with another Alliance of Agony. So we've got 3 patrol detachments. Getting as many command points as a battalion and another detachment, which is pretty cool. So I have a patrol detachment of Cult of the Red Grief. So we've got 9 Reaver jet bikes with heat lances, the Succubus with an Archite glaive, 5 witches with a shard net, an impaler, a venom, and 10 Hellions. One of them has a phantasm grenade launcher. Archon Skari, the Blade himself, with his splinter pistol and venom blade. He's recruited some mercenaries in the form of a unit of Skurd with haywire blasters, a venom with dual cannons as his personal chariot, 10 Cabalite warriors with 2 blasters in a raider with splinter racks and a dark lance, and a shock prow. And then the Prophets of Flesh have sent their own units into the fray. We have a homunculus of the Prophets of Flesh with a venom blade. We have 2 Taloi with 2 stinger pods, chain flails, and a macro scalpel. 9 Racks, one of them has a liquefy gun, and the Akathist has a venom blade. And 3 Grotesques, rounded out with a raider with a disintegrator cannon and a shock prow. So it looks like a lot. It is a lot for 1500 points. So let us know what you think down below as we move in to deployment and Archon Skari continues his hunt for the flesh that will make him nigh invulnerable. And the armies are deployed for the hunt of liquid flesh. I love the name of that campaign. It's really cool. Game 3. So in the city, the ruined, blasted landscape. This is an old Games Workshop paper mat, actually, which is why it's seen better days. But I have 5 witches in here with a shard net. They have the +2 movement drug. Then I've got 3 Grotesques in that raider, 2 Talos hiding behind that building, the 9 Racks, the Succubus, Homunculus, and Archon Skari, the Blade in his venom, 9 Reaver jet bikes with +1 toughness holding the backfield, the 10 Cabalite warriors with 2 blasters in their Splinterect Raider. I used the Webway portal stratagem to put my 10 Hellions in reserve, and they have +2 leadership, while my Succubus has +1 attack, and that's that. And also in reserve, I have the 5 Scourge. They are flying high in the sky. So I picked that corner, and then John deployed first. So before I could put my Archon down with Labyrinthine Cunning, he put a unit of 9 Scarabs in reserve so they can deep strike. He has 2 Annihilation Barges, 10 Warriors, 10 Tesla Mortals, the Lord, the Cryptek, the Overlord, all in this bunker right overlooking the Dark Eldar advance. He also put this flying Doomsday Ark out over the battlefield. Luckily, I was able to hide most of my stuff, so you can't really shoot my tanks. Then we've got the Destroy Lord back here. We've got a unit of 3 Scarabs and a unit of 5 Scarabs. I did finish deploying first. Correct. So John, do you have a plan for the game?
I do, but I can't let you know.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. The sneaky destruction protocols of the Necrons are kicking in.
You've trespassed. You must be removed.
I must be removed. I am just like a virus. Okay, folks, let us know who you think is going to come out on top. Will Archon Skari be able to dislodge the Necron tier from this very defended position? Or will the Necrons finally reap the rewards of ripping the old enemy from this universe? Okay, I get +1. I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
Ooh, it's a draw. Okay, and again, I rolled a 7 and a 4. Would you like to seize the initiative?
I will try.
Okay. Dun dun dun. Oh, so close. The Dark Eldar will attempt to seize initiative and go first. Let's see what the Dark Eldar do. We're playing basic Maelstrom of War, so 3 cards in our hand. Objective 6, Objective 1, Objective 3, Objective 2, Objective 4, and I believe that would be Objective 5 back there. On to Dark Eldar turn 1. Dark Eldar turn 1. So, I got priority orders received for Archon Skari, which was advanced. So he had to be part of my whole army leaving the deployment zone. Which he did get, so that's 4 points. I also got psychological warfare. So I shot a lot into the 10-man Necron warrior unit. I killed 6 of them with a Phantasmal Grenade launcher shot. So on a 6, he lost 3 models. There's 1 left. The 3 of them have disappeared because they won't come back for reanimation. But he still has 6 of them to come back. But I did get a point for that, as he was saving his command points for shenanigans later on. My Hellions did deep strike, ready to strike from the shadows of that crater, while the Scourge did deep strike here and put 3 wounds on the Doomsday Ark. The Witches are coming around the flank over here in this Venom. And the last one I had was Area Denial, and there were no enemy units within 12, giving me a grand total of D3 points for Area Denial. And I will roll, and I get a 2, so that is 3, 4, 6 points, right? No, 4, 7 points. So that is a 7-point turn, but I did fail to get first blood, so that is still up for grabs. And the Necrons will try and answer in turn as the Tesla Mephrit dynasty and all their shooting stuff gets ready to blast the Drukhari into oblivion. Necron turn 2. So the Necrons essentially moved up very aggressively into the Dark Eldar face. Getting cards like Domination, which is very, very hard to do. Assassinate, which means that he's going to have to wait for my characters to get out into the fray. And a Necron one, which is Reclaim and Recapture or something. And he rolled a dice. He has to control the 3 odd numbered objectives, so 1, 3, and 5, and he gets D3 victory points if he gets all 3 of them. So it's a tough one to get. He just has to push the Eldar off of this objective to capture it as well. In shooting, the Tesla Immortals, with My Will Be Done, shot in and murdered all the Hellions. I even tried to use Agents of Vect, because he used a command point to negate their cover, and I Agents of Vected it, so he wasn't able to negate their cover, and then I strike from the shadows, which meant that I gave them +2 to their cover instead of +1, and he still murdered them all. So that was a good shot. That gave him first blood. And then the other shooting, everything tried to fire into the grotesque raider, even charged in with 5 scarabs, and the raider is left with 1 wound remaining. Almost dead, almost, but it was not enough. That raider is still alive. So I have no cards in play, and my objectives are: there is no escape. I have to try and kill a unit that was completely within terrain at the start of the turn. Domination. Apparently, high command for the Dark Eldar is in the same sort of mind vein as the Necrons. And defend objective 5, which, yes, is all the way in the back with those Necron warriors. Way back over here. That's objective 5. I don't think I'm going to be able to get there. So these 2 are going to be very hard, but I can try and kill a unit in cover this turn. The Drukhari on turn 2 decided to move up straight into the bunker of the Necrons. The MVPs, in my opinion, were the Haywire Scourge, putting 9 mortal wounds on the Doomsday Arc. And then I charged in with the Reaver Jet Bikes. It has 1 wound remaining. I wasn't able to kill it. I did kill the warriors in the cover to give me no escape, or the extra 1 to kill something. And then I charged my Succubus, got out of the Venom, advanced, charged into the back here, killed the normal Necron Lord. She is now in a mighty duel against the Necron Overlord himself. And she has taken a wound. And the Talos charged in. I was able to kill 8 of the Immortals. There's 2 left. But he auto-passed morale with a command point, or 2 command points. And then I killed the Scarabs over here with the Talos and the Grotesques. Essentially just bringing the pressure into the enemy army. Now he did spend 2 command points to auto-pass morale, so I've got Labyrinthine Cunning. Do I steal any of the points? I do not. And now we're moving into turn 2 for the Necrons, as I discarded Domination, because it's going to be a very hard one for me to get this game. Necron turn 3. Turn 3. Necron turn 2. So, a use of a stratagem to make this Doomsday Arc fire as if it's on its top tier. It regained a wound and it pretended like it was not wounded at all. And then I used a lightning fast reflexes, and the -1 to hit the Scourge kept them alive against the volley of firepower. A lot of shooting from the Tesla arcs killed the Raider for overwhelming firepower and killed 3 more of my jet bikes. There's the squad leader and 1 Heat Lance left. He did also get objective 3 with the Obsec Immortal. He got objective 1 over here and objective 5. For D3 points, he did get 2 points for reclaim and recapture. In other shooting, this Talos has received 2 more wounds from the Immortals firing, the Warriors firing, and I was able to stop the Overlord from falling back with my Succubus no escape rule, and she put 4 wounds on him while not sustaining any damage thanks to Power from Pain against his close combat attacks. So now we're moving on to Dark Eldar turn 3. We're sitting 8 points to 5 in favor of the Drukhari. And I get 2, I have Defend 5, which is in the back. I can't do that, John, I don't think.
Nope.
Nope. I get no prisoners. Try and kill something in the... I have to kill 1 unit in my turn, so no prisoners. And if I kill 3 units, I get extra points. I have to defend objective 1, which is the one by the Doomsday Arc over here. And I have defend 5, so no prisoners. Defend 1 and defend 5. And the Necron Destroyer Lord is coming up, ready to get into the fray, as he noticed that the witches on the flank were simply a decoy. Okay, end of Dark Eldar. Turn 3. So, the Scourge on this side, we're able to finally destroy that Doomsday Ark, and now they are currently defending Objective 1. The Racks had to turn around and deal with the deep struck Scarabs on the rear end with the Talos. They've lost 3 of their number because these Scarabs reroll misses in combat on the first round. I did kill 3 Scarab bases, but I did lose 3 Racks in the process. The Witches have moved up next to the Homunculus from the backfield, ready to do some work in the main Necron lines. And all the action happened when I shot pretty much everything into the Immortals. Only killed 2. 3 of them are still alive, which means that they're completely fine, even with a charge from the Reaver jet bikes. The man of the match here was my Succubus, who used Cruel Deception to move out of combat, charge into the Cryptek and kill him, and then tie up the Necron warriors, while Archon Skari, the Blade himself, got out and went to fight the Necron Overlord in hand-to-hand combat. The Necron Overlord, he is nobody. He is the leader of the Legion of Nothing. Really great names. It's awesome. And this Venom moved over here and shot into the Immortals. Now the Talos here moved into that Annihilation Barge, did 4 damage with his macro scalpels, and the 3 Grotesques moved in to the Destroyer Lord, did 1 wound, and then 1 Grotesque was murdered. All 4 damage done by the War Scythe itself. Now I did get 1 point this turn for no prisoners. I killed the Doomsday Ark, and I also killed the Cryptek and the character, so I'm going to get D3 points for that. And I'm going to get rid of Defend Objective 5, and I'm currently defending Objective 1. So moving on to, Resurrection Protocols. Stratagem, he failed it on his Warlord, which would give me Warlord kill as well. Moving on to turn 3 for the Necrons. It's looking rather grim as the Dark Eldar pull ahead, but with the Destroyer Lord still in full health and it being pretty much not even the middle of the game, like turn 3, could go up to turn 7. You know, that Destroyer Lord could spell the doom of the Dark Eldar units in the deployment zone. Necron turn 3. Okay, the Destroyer Lord basically bounced off the Grotesques. 3 Scabs came in and also bounced off the Grotesques. No, they put 2 wounds on the Grotesque. And then the Grotesque killed 2 Scarab bases with their crazy number of attacks. The Necron warriors successfully passed a no-retreat roll against the Succubus, falling back out of combat. And this Annihilation Barge held his name high and said, "I will annihilate you." And so the Succubus is now dead. The Necron Immortals lost 1 in combat after gaining 2 for reanimation, so they are still in combat there. And the Annihilation Barge on this flank shot, and then I heroically intervened, and my Homunculus has taken 2 wounds. The Annihilation Barge has taken 1 wound as well. And in the back over here, the Necrons had Secure 6, so they just fell back out of combat to take Objective 6. He had Assassinate, so he gained a point for Assassinate, and he gained a point for Secure Objective 5. So he got all 3 of the cards. So he got all 3 cards at the bottom of turn 3, and I got Defend Objective 1, which brings my total up to 13 with Warlord, to your 8 with First Blood. So it's 8 to 13, going into turn 4 now. So let's see what the Dark Eldar get. The Drukhari have been ordered to Fear and Terror, try and make you fail another morale test. They have also said that I have to be a master of the warp, which is not going to happen. And to secure Objective 3, which happens to be by the Venom with the Witches over here. Okay, so let's move on to turn 4. Okay, so Drukhari, turn 4, and this was a turn where we sunk the blade deep into the Necron tier chest cavity. There's 1 Scarab left alive, with 1 wound remaining, after the Talos and the Racks kind of piled in and tried to take it out. On this flank, though, the Destroyer Lord murdered both of their grotesques. All 6 wounds on grotesques gone. I didn't pass a save for them, but the witches came in, didn't do any damage against the Necron Lord, and they're just hoping to tie him up in combat with their shard net and impaler. The homunculus fell back from the Annihilation Barge, who got shot by the Scourge and did some mortal wounds, knocking the last wounds off of that, killing it. And Archon Skari charged into the Immortals together with the Reaver jet bikes. The Immortals are no more. Combined firepower from both the Raider with the Splinter Axe and the Venom killed 9 of the warriors with a charge in from the Venom, and they failed morale. And last but not least, the Talos suffered wounds jumping into the Annihilation Barge. It has 2 wounds left, and the Annihilation Barge has 4 wounds left, and I was unable to kill it. I did get some objectives this turn, I think. I did draw cards, they're right over here. Haha. I got Fear and Terror because he failed the morale test. I have to get rid of Master of the Warp, and secure objective 3 is by my Venom. So I got 2 points. I'm going to get rid of Master of the Warp. We're moving on to Necrons, turn 4. Necron, turn 4. The little scarab got behind enemy lines by hiding from my army. Where is he? Oh yeah, he's over here. Yeah, he did. He was still alive. The Annihilation Barge moved up, tried to fire into the Scourge, and didn't do any damage. I passed all my cover saves with the infantry over there. The Necron Lord did kill 3 of the witches because I failed my invulnerable saves. And he's back to full health because that phylactery on every turn is incredibly good. So now we're moving on to Dark Eldar turn 5. It's essentially all over but the fat lady singing. John here was trying to do some moral victory by killing the scarab. You know, as the game starts its conclusion, I've been ordered to defend 6, which is what I've been doing with them. I've been ordered to secure objective 2, which is over here, and I've been ordered to secure objective 6, which is back here. So that's gonna essentially solidify the win for the Drukhari. But let's see what I can do with this fiend over here, because he's a tough nut to crack. Turn number 5 for the Drukhari. Saw the Scourge move up, killed the Annihilation Barge, it exploded, killed one of the Scourge. But they are still alive, they've been the MVPs. I took 6, I'm defending 6, I took 2, and essentially the rest of my army converged, shot the Destroyer Lord down, he got back up with his relic with 2 wounds left, I charged in, and then he failed his reanimation, his resurrection protocols. So he is no more, and he has fallen. So with that, the Drukhari have taken the victory, and Archon Skari continues his successful quest. Next time we're here, we might even be fighting near or around the tomb complex of the Necron tier. So John, any comments for the end of the game?
Your guys are as gross as ever. I didn't expect the haywire to completely rip apart my poor quantum shielded models.
Yeah, no, they added D3 in the new codex. Instead of 1 shot, they're now D3 shots. So they did the same thing in the codex, but they added the D3 shots and they made them less expensive. So I think that the haywire is definitely a big winner in the book. The Talos, these guys, we'll be doing a whole tactical series on them. I'm doing a weekly tactical video for the Patreons on the Patreon page, so check the links down below. Other than that, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. We had some cool requests for the continuation of this story. So when we return, if you want to see a specific narrative point, let us know down below and we can try and recreate the story if it's something you'd like us to do. Other than that, John, thanks for the game, sir.
Good game.
Good game, and I'm sure when the sweet revenge will come for the Necrons, it will be so sweet a revenge. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Leave a comment, share, like, subscribe. And if you'd like to support what I do, check out the Patreon page. All the patrons help me. That's fantastic. You unlock some really cool chats and a community of about 54 people. You know, in the last 2 weeks, we've grown from 30 to 50 people in the Patreon group, and we're a really tight bunch. So check it out with the link down below. After all, this is Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out.